Morning, guys. Welcome to AMX88-Faith or Fear. As you are coming in, logging in, I'm going to share the video on my personal page. And I want to thank you guys. It is 6:31 on, where are we at? Tuesday, November something. Get ready for another day into the week. I was just recording a podcast and the audio went bad. So that was not good. So we're trying, hopefully we'll have a little bit more success with AM Excellence. So we're at AM Excellence 88, Faith or Fear. Now I'm going to start with that. I'm going to get into that concept here in a second. And like I said before, we're going to go through AMX 100. And then I'm going to start going Monday through Friday. So I'm going to take Saturday and Sunday off from producing. But in the future, you know, we'll do some different things on Saturday and Sunday. But for now, I will go through AMX 100 before we change in any way. So today's video is called Faith or Fear. And I have heard several times from several different places this idea that in your life you're governed by one of two things. You're either governed by faith or you're governed by fear. You're either governed by this idea that it is going to work out. I believe in what I'm doing. I'm going to have faith. Or you're on the other side of that coin where you might be sitting there and you think, well, heck no, I'm not like that at all. I'm governed by fear. I'm afraid to step outside of the box. I'm afraid to do anything against the norm. And the whole message that I want to pass on, the whole message that I want to spread is this idea of faith, this idea of belief, because in the last couple of days, actually, we've talked about this idea that the greatest achievement at one time or another was just a thought. It was just faith. It was just belief in this crazy idea that with the application of the principles we're reading in Think and Grow Rich and the other principles that I talk about on a daily basis, when you put those into practice, that helps create and reinforce this belief. So the chapter opens up talking about the U.S. Steel Corporation. And I'm not a history guy, but as I get older, I start to appreciate it more and more. And it talks about these three guys, Charles Schwab, J.P. Morgan, and Andrew Carnegie, and the revolution that took place in the steel industry. And it says that what changed the world was an idea. And it was nothing more than an idea, but it was an idea that was put into practice. The other day we talked about practical dreamers. So I'm a dreamer, yeah, but I'm a practical dreamer. Where do you lie on that spectrum? Do you dream and sit in your room and not do anything about it? Or do you dream, develop this belief through your actions, and then practically work towards it? So that was a neat concept, this idea of practical dreamers. But, you know, the chapter opens up talking about this idea of faith and fear, faith versus fear. And they were saying that up until this point, the revolution that was the U.S. Steel, they had operated on force and fear. And they say this, they say the methods of the past, based upon economic combinations of force and fear, will be supplanted by the better principles of faith and cooperation. So when you're trying to get someone to do something, right? Yesterday we talked about manipulation. It's not manipulation in that I'm trying to dupe you. It's manipulation in that you're getting what you want, I'm getting what you want. You have a choice to lead. You have a choice to lead as a parent, as a coach, as any sort of leadership position. You can rule by fear, force and fear, or you can rule by faith and cooperation. And the way that you do that, this is what I stress more than anything, the way that you do that is by the way you live your life on a daily basis. Your actions are so loud that I can't hear what you're saying. If you want to implant that faith and that cooperation, you've got to refine the way that you act on a daily basis. It goes on to talk about the U.S. Steel Corporation, as I said, and it just talks about how this insane, crazy, big development was all started with an idea backed by a plan. And something really neat, it says, remember this when you are, and it talks about the evolution and the grandiosity of the U.S. Steel Corporation. And it says, remember this when you are ready to bargain with life for whatever it is that you ask as your price for having passed this way. What you seek in life, what you aspire for, what you ask of life, chances are it's going to give you. We talk about this idea of a thought is a thought. So whether you take it in a positive direction or a negative direction, it's your choice. But whatever you ask for, whatever bargain you make, you're going to get. It goes on to say, there are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Case in point, Conor McGregor. I touched on him the other day. This guy believed his future into fruition. He actually believed, and the book calls it transmuted, but he transmuted his belief and his faith in himself to become the first two weight class champion in the UFC. That cannot be done with absolute belief. Now, was it belief and then he's going out smoking cigarettes, partying? No. It's belief backed by hard work. There's no way around that idea of the hard work. Another thing that I want to bring up is this idea of thought habits. So he says, through repetition of this procedure, and they're talking about the work, etc., you voluntarily create thought habits which are favorable to your efforts to transmute desire into its monetary, or whatever result you're looking for, equivalent. This idea of thought habits. So what is a thought habit? When I wake up in the morning, I've trained myself to wake up, get water, come upstairs, read. That creates thought habits. That creates aspiring thought habits because of what I'm putting into my mind. As I'm reading these books, I begin to think, oh, I can apply it here, I can apply it there, I can take my business to the next level by going here, I can implant this idea. Those are thought habits. That's a habit. I think those things every day because of what I do. Your thought habits, if you wake up and you have an unhealthy breakfast and you look sloppy, those are going to create thought habits, not good thought habits. So this idea of thought habits are created from how you live your life, the things that you do every single day. Here's a saying that my good friend Dave introduced to me, and he says it to his kids, and I actually thought that he created it somehow, but evidently it's a really famous little quote or saying. And the author, Napoleon Hill, is talking about this idea of adding emotion to your words. Not just saying, I'm going to be champion of the world, but really and truly feeling it. Back to the energy bus, really and truly garnering that energy. And he says, if you repeat 1,000,000 times the famous quote, day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And it's funny, my buddy told me that, and he says, I say that in the mirror 25 times. He said, I actually look in the mirror and I say it 25 times. And he doesn't just say it, he believes it. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So maybe take that from this video and implement that into your life. But the point of it is, you don't just say it, you've got to believe it. You've got to believe in what you're doing. He says, and this is another reinforcement of that idea that there's no way around hard work. There's no way around persistence. The price of ability to influence your subconscious mind, the price, so to have the ability to influence your subconscious mind, to build this deep foundation of, let's just say, stick-to-itiveness or go-get-emness, whatever you want to call it. He says the price of ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying the principles described here. You cannot develop the desired ability for a lower price. What is that saying? The price of ability to influence your subconscious mind. So to form your subconscious mind into a state of, I believe in myself, I value my abilities, I believe I can accomplish this, I believe I can accomplish that, I am a great husband, I am a great father. To develop that subconscious thought that is within you, the price is everlasting persistence in applying the principles described here. Everlasting persistence, forget the book, it's everlasting persistence in that pursuit. whatever you want to be, the ability to truly believe in yourself, the price to get to have that ability to develop that belief is the application of the principles therein. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to be, you look to the best of the best, whoever is at the top, and the principles that they are employing, the everlasting persistence of those principles is exactly how you're going to get there. Exactly. Why am I reading every single day for 30, 40 minutes and making 15-minute videos every day? You know, by AMX 100, that will be approximately 1,500 minutes of practicing my craft. Practicing my craft of learning and then talking about it. Ad-lib. Talking about it so that I can get on a stage anywhere at any time and do what I do every morning. So it's that everlasting persistence of practicing your craft. And the last thing I'll leave you with, you know, I mentioned the saying of don't blame, complain, or make excuses often. Don't blame, don't complain, don't make excuses. Another takeaway from this video. And I mentioned that often, and I'm prepping for a talk that I'm delivering on Thursday. I'll get to that in 1 minute. But the last thing I want to say to you from the book today is this. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method, which has failed. If you try and fail, make another effort and still another until you succeed. That undying belief, that burning desire, that faith in whatever you're doing. Don't blame, don't complain, don't make excuses. Where failure is experienced, it is your fault. It is my fault. It is nobody else's fault. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. There are no bad teams, only bad leaders. To get what you want, if you do want something extraordinary, stop passing the buck. It is your fault. It is my fault. It is no one else's fault. At the end of the day, that role, my fourth element of excellence, living with accountability, that role will trump all. It's not the method, it is the individual. Moving on. So I'm prepping for a talk that I'm giving on Thursday, and I'm speaking to a group of student athletes. And the reason why I want to reinforce in you the power of reading, if nothing else, the power of following along with these AMX videos, but the power of reading. As I was prepping for this video, or as I was prepping for this talk versus the last talk that I actually prepped a full PowerPoint for, which was a couple months ago, I was blown away by the depth of knowledge that I had to pull from. So I outlined my 5 elements of excellence: vision, values, success, accountability, and surrounding yourself with the best. And I was blown away by the depth of examples, references, different discussion points, talking points that I now have. So in your life, why should you read? Because whatever avenue, whether you're a coach, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a salesman, whether you're a doctor, whether you're whatever other jobs that are out there, you're going to need examples and strategies and philosophies to convey in one way or another. And reading does exactly that. So if at the very least you're tuning in here every day, go for that. If you want to take it a step further, start reading on your own. Absolutely appreciate you guys being here. 6:44. Time to send you off on your way. And as I had mentioned before, in the coming days, probably starting with the AMX90, so in a day or two, I'm going to launch a new way for you to become more involved in AM Excellence. And it's not going to break the bank. Trust me. I'm a very normal person who comes from a very normal background. So I'm not going to charge you thousands of dollars for something. But if you want to, if you want to take yourself to the next level, this is going to be a great opportunity to do so. So please tune in. Keep up to date with the AMX videos because I'll be making that announcement in the next couple of days. I'm going to try it. I have an idea. I'm going to try it. Will it succeed or fail? Remains to be seen, but I sure as heck am going to try. Carpe diem. Fight well. Remember to leave comments. I've been seeing a good bit of comments come through in this video. So please continue to leave the comments. Until Gracie June wakes up, I'm going to head to the computer and start responding. Carpe diem. Fight well.